Yo, happy Saturday. So I just watched the Lakers-Rockets. Lakers put on a great performance. LeBron James played well. He was in the paint, making shots, posting up. He controlled the game basically. And then AR looked good, man. He attacked the paint, made plays, made tough shots, made shots, and that was a good job by JJ Redick, inserting him into the starting lineup. He played well. I expected them to win, once AR came back. I think once they brought him back into the lineup, that pushed the pendulum to the Lakers as far as the amount of talent that they had on the floor, And Hachimura played well as well. So Lakers were the better team when it comes to the final roster that they had put out on the floor. And as far as the Rockets, young team, they had the youngest starting lineup in NBA history. They were able to get 2 games. They did give away a playoff game in game 3. They gave that game away. But I think overall, with the addition of AR, they were going to lose that series anyway. So whether it be in a game 7 or a game 6 like tonight, with AR coming back, the Lakers, they took care of business. And so it was a good series. Lakers have a tough road ahead with OKC coming up. But I mainly want to talk about Durant. I think he had a great regular season. I thought he had a great year. But initially, I was against the Durant trade. I'm opposed to trading a young 23-year-old star player for a 37-year-old. I don't think that's smart, because of his age. He's still an elite scorer, and he's an elite defender. So he's still a great player, top 15 player. But LeBron James is the only exception as far as when you start getting in the late 30s, in the NBA with a long NBA season, 82 games, it's hard to ask a player of that age to stay healthy for 82 games and the playoffs. That's a tough ask, especially a guy playing over 35 minutes a game. That's why I was against the trade. I did not think he was going to stay healthy. So he plays in game 2. He played okay, had 20 points. I do think if he played in this series that they do win the series. I think essentially they win all their home games. But if you're the Rockets, having Durant for 1 game in the playoffs, that's not what you're looking for in your superstar. And this is a guy who's played 20 years in the league. He came in when he was 19. That's a lot of mileage on the body. Asking him to stay healthy, that's, like I said, there's only one LeBron James. He's the exception to the rule. Somehow LeBron is able to stay healthy. Whatever his regimen is for his body that he does in the offseason, that needs to be studied and replicated. And this was the year for the Rockets if they wanted to win the championship. I was disappointed that they didn't get something for Fred VanVleet, that they didn't trade him. And, I would have brought in Harden, but it's irrelevant because Durant didn't stay healthy. Bone spurs in his ankle, that's a wear and tear injury. And so I don't think the Rockets will get a championship in the Durant era. His body broke down when it mattered the most. And so that's very disappointing. The Rockets have no choice but to run it back, honestly. But I think it's asking a lot for Durant to stay healthy.